Abraham Lincoln was no stranger to ridicule, especially when it came to his looks. Back in 1860, photographs of the presidential candidates weren't posted everywhere. Photos were drawn and descriptions were written in papers, which often depicted Abe as a jumbled mess of long arms and legs and hair befitting a bog witch. For his part, Lincoln either didn't mind or perhaps enjoyed the ridicule. He even joined in. His famous comeback to Stephen Douglas's attack during their 1858 presidential debates is solid gold. When Douglas called him two-faced, Lincoln laughed and asked, "If I had another face, do you think I'd wear this one?" But it seems one comment made by an 11-year-old girl named Grace Bettle got through to him. On October 15, 1860, Grace wrote a letter to Mr. Lincoln telling him that a beard would help the shape of his face, and that if people liked the look of him, he would no doubt become president. Grace was an astute little girl. Lincoln wrote her back to thank her for her suggestion, and within the month, he'd started to grow out his whiskers. Thanks to Grace's advice, he became the first fully bearded president in history, and his beard remains a trademark symbol of Lincoln even today. 7K's exclusive An American Life series, designed by Miles Standish, continues with 3 fine silver coins honoring the legacy of President Abraham Lincoln. The first coin bears 2 pictures of Lincoln on 1 ounce of silver. The obverse shows a young Lincoln before he was elected president, and even before the infamous beard. The reverse describes in stark detail how the weight of office wore on him. In the short 4 years he served, Lincoln aged quickly, assisted by the drawn-out Civil War, issue of slavery, and the loss of his child, Willie. Even coming up on his second term, Lincoln was facing so much adversity, he didn't know if he would be re-elected. That knowledge only made him work harder to end the war while he could. His accomplishment of that goal, through blood, sweat, and tears, brought the Union back together and began the process of giving freedom to all. Lincoln's legacy is forever remembered by the millions of people who visit the Lincoln Memorial each year. 2 ounces of fine silver depict Lincoln standing before the monument on the reverse of this coin, with the memorial's 19-foot-tall statue of the president shown on the obverse. The statue was carved by the Piccirilli brothers, and nearby are engraved 2 of Lincoln's most famous speeches, the Gettysburg Address and his second inaugural address. Abe was long gone by the time the Lincoln Memorial was finished, but when it was dedicated in 1922, his oldest living son, Robert Todd Lincoln, was able to attend the event at the age of 79. The entirety of the Lincoln Memorial is shown on the 5-ounce coin in stunning black proof. Patterned after the Parthenon in Athens, Greece, the monument is a neoclassical-style temple with 36 massive columns acting as support for the structure. The architect Henry Bacon specifically chose the number to reflect the states within the Union at the time of Lincoln's death, in celebration of his achievement in bringing them back together. There are 48 stone festoons incorporated to symbolize the number of states at time of dedication in 1922. Inside the memorial, a 720-square-foot mural by James Guerin honors Lincoln with a beautiful portrayal of the virtues he embodied, including liberty, justice, and unity. Since 1963, when Martin Luther King Jr. stood on the 18th step beneath the Lincoln Memorial and gave his "I Have a Dream" speech before a crowd of 250,000 participants in the March on Washington, many others have followed his example. The Lincoln Memorial represents everything that the 16th President of the United States stood for and defended with his life. Under the watchful eye of Lincoln, citizens have gathered to further his cause with his steady gaze at their backs. In death, even as in life, his legacy deters injustice and encourages freedom. Abraham Lincoln.
An American icon, an American hero, an American life. Only from 7K.